thought can we talk about with being left in the dark?
What?
I'm trying to come up with a thought, like a spiritual thought, like of something like a, someone being not told everything or something because this guy buying a business wasn't told everything, left in the dark.
I was like, that's everyone.
You know what?
Sometimes we're left in the dark.
Daniel being thrown into the lion's den. That's what it is. Because he was just totally kind of thrown into a business. Here you go. Peace, suckers. I'm out.
Well, the other guy was on the hook pretty good for it. It's not like he was just loosey-goosey.
Yeah. Okay.
Really-
Does anyone have a thought, or should we just keep moving?
Keep moving.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, first question. Assess this venture from Jim Sharpe's perspective.
It was a poor venture. Just the whole freaking thing. I was really disappointed in Sharpe the whole time.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, first of all, okay. Are we ready for a rant? I know I said I wanted to keep it short, but holy cow, this was one exciting read. I even got mad at the guy. Okay, where's my quotation mark? You know, Control F. Where's my quotation mark? Not that one. Not that one. That one. There it is. You can't talk to the employees, and I don't want you talking to any of my customers. The day you own the business, you can talk to everyone. I will give you, meanwhile, as a plant tours, you want blah, 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 but you should probably just get rid of them. And then later, again, I changed my mind. Okay. So Sharpe has no idea what's getting into all the legal protections that the previous owner has. He could be receiving over $1 million, so the previous owner could be receiving that $1 million and could end up taking the business back. Who's to say that he hasn't actually done that before? And that could be why he didn't want Sharpe talking to any of the customers or employees, because the previous owner could have sold the business before, got the money, and then took the business back with that 99% lien on the business.
But I think he's still got his like financials and stuff, doesn't he?
He has to pay him in full for that $1 million and a quarter stuff, or doesn't he?
Not all of
No, I'm
it.
saying Sharpe still has some of his financials and stuff. Still, it's not like he's totally blind.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Like, they went over all the financial standings of the company before he even purchased it. Like, he got all the financial information from the past from the guy.
Are you sure? Because I thought it said flat out that, he doesn't know the profits or the margins.
He didn't know some of it, but he did get a lot of the info from the guy.
I feel like if you don't know the profits, you don't know.
I think he has a good enough idea as far as the financial standing of the company to know he can turn it around.
Yeah.
Based on my understanding, because he's not looking for a company with great, awesome financial standing. He's looking for something he can theoretically buy at a lower price and then work his magic on, which is what he's been doing for the last 10 years. Increase the prices, correct the margins, decrease costs, all that stuff, and get it to a point where he's happy with it.
Where does it say they went over the financials, that he got it all?
Kelly's up for that.
Yeah, I'm looking.
But you see my concern. If he can't turn it around, he's out $1.25 million, and he's out of the business. And the guy's just got it back.
I mean, I wouldn't be that worried, though, because they went through all these, lawyers to do it. They say that it... I don't think he can all of a sudden just take the business back unexpectedly.
Well, no. Only if the business fails.
Right. If he
I've been in that situation before.
Yeah, they could... Then he would get the business back. But again, the business is bankrupt.
Right.
And he's still $1 million richer. Like, do you get how just shady that is?
I don't think it's that weird though, because you're not buying just the company then, you're buying the potential of the company, you're buying patents, you're buying like a lot of it.
In this case, there's no patents or anything though. It's just a low-level manufacturing industry, and that's it.
And so like he could like, I think like a year down the road, he's not going to spend $1 million in a year, unless he buys just like more. But like I feel like he can just walk back in and be like, "Hey guys, I'm back. I still got my money from when he bought this because I got it in cash." And
he can't though. He can't. It's literally if the company goes bankrupt.
Then oh, that's right. If he goes bankrupt, then he doesn't have to.
Like if they're selling off all their assets.
Uh-huh.
The previous owner gets his 99% leverage or his 90% ownership back of his worthless assets to do with as he will.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess he can sell those off. So the equipment, the company doesn't even own the building. The current owner owns the building and leases it back to his company for tax purposes.
But if it goes bankrupt, he only doesn't have to pay the rest of that $750. $750,000.
Right. That's the current owner's leverage that says he basically doesn't just go crazy, drive it into the ground, and then walk away by screwing the owner and then selling off all the owner's equipment and
Oh no, I get that. But even if he goes bankrupt, he's still out $1.25 million. Well,
yeah.
That
could be out $2 million right off the bat.
Yeah.
If he took over 100% of the ownership, he could be out $2 million right off the bat, less what he could salvage. Which isn't that much. The equipment is old, and he doesn't own the building. He's buying the business because they have everything in place. They have customer lists. They're generating revenue. It's just not ideal. And
the previous owner is like using that money to buy company cars in secret.
It's not secret. It's a tax.
No, he said we tucked it away. We hid it away. Okay. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent now. Whatever. I still think that guy is freaking shady and should just not have ever been an owner.
So let me get this straight.
What?
I was just agreeing with you about the honesty. He seemed to not be very honest.
So is he getting the $1 million after he buys the company, or is it only?
He's losing $1 million upon buying it.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Let's see. From Jim Sharpe's perspective, I feel like it makes sense though, because he did need a company that did have issues in order to be able to purchase it. Like he was looking for companies that he could improve. So this company in particular wasn't a bad choice just because it does need improving. And that's how he was able to afford it.
I can't hear anyone.
No one's talking right now, so.
Oh, okay, so I can hear you.
Is this the same question?
Yeah, it just says assess this venture from his perspective.
Okay, sorry, what did you say from his perspective? Because I think I lost everyone.
I was just saying, I don't think it's a bad idea from his perspective, just because he found a company that needs improving and he knows ways to already start improving it. And the only way he was going to be able to buy a company with the money he had and stuff was if it did have issues. So this company has issues, so he could buy it. So I don't know if I know I talked about this Levi a little bit, but I bought a car, a BMW,
It was stripped for racing. It had no ABS. It had no radiator. It had no secondary air system, and all the carpets were gone. There was 2 front seats. The rest of the interior was gone. No side panels, no ceiling, no nothing. It was this close to being sold as a parts car. But I bought it, and I was able to get there and see the car, and the kid told me, oh yeah, it's a clean title in my name. It's never been in a crash. And I'm like, stop. You already have the money. Yes, it has been in a crash, because he never noticed that the paint was a little bit different on the grill and hood from the rest of the car. It was just never reported. So like I knew what I was doing more than this kid. I had all the parts. I had another car. I put all my parts from my old car into it, and I knew what I was doing. And I contacted the previous owner to find out all the work he's already done on it. Like the pump has already been replaced, and it's had an engine rebuild in the last 2 years. So I felt like I really knew even more than the person selling it to me knew, because he didn't even know that. But like I knew what I was doing, and I could talk to the owner and the owner 2 owners ago, and I felt like I knew that I could life, because it was not drove it away. Like, but this guy, he
What's your
didn't.
point?
The point is, like, he couldn't look at anything. He couldn't talk. He couldn't talk to anyone, and like, that's just so.
Well, he still knew stuff.
It's a red flag in my book, but he still made the choice to buy the company after going through the numbers, right?
Yeah, like I think he was in the same boat of like wanting to turn around. Like he wanted to buy a bad business and like turn it around, like a project, like the same way I looked at my project car. But he didn't know what he was getting himself into. I am not convinced, and no one can convince me that he knew what he was getting himself into.
Well,
I think he had no good enough idea.
I don't think he necessarily liked the idea of having a failed business. But before buying it from his point of view, he thought it was an okay deal. Because I guess that's what we're discussing right now, is just from his point of view.
Right.
He thought it was okay. But I guess from our point of view, nobody will want to buy a kind of business that's kind of shady. I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, neither would I.
He knows the business is making money. It's just not making as much money as it could.
Right.
Right. He came in and said that he could improve the production because the raw materials, they're buying more than what are actually needed. So he knows there's improvements that can be made.
And it's already generating $5 million a year. Yeah. I promise I wouldn't talk. Go. Next question.
Okay, we'll just move to number 2. How has Jim Sharpe purchased this venture? What are the implications of this financial structure?
Holy. Connor already talked about it, really. He pays some money up front. He finances some money. He basically he personally guarantees other parts of his loan for like the next 6 years. He also, yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Basically, a mix of personal savings, loans, guarantees, and financing off the future revenues he's going to be earning from the business, more or less, is what I understand.
Dude, what was his wife doing again?
It's just
I'm sorry, guys. I keep cutting out on you guys.
Anybody want to take the implications of that financial structure?
What are the implications? Well, if the business fails, he loses his house. He loses like everything, basically. He's personally.
One more time, Steve.
I'm just saying he loses the company because the previous owner will be able to take it back.
That's true. I don't know. It just seems more risky just because, like, now, like, all of your own personal, like, assets are on the line as well.
Yeah. Okay. So what about the other, how are they different from those other ones? So, like, people with angel investors, if those, like, if those businesses fail, they still have to pay them back fully? Like, some
Or
of
whatever the business has, though. Like, only up to what the business makes. You don't have to, like, personally pay them.
because that's their
You
own
just
risk.
have to, like, if you're right.
Okay.
I think the implication here, though, is that he's so confident in his ability to take what he has available to him. He feels he knows the business enough. Cost reductions and savings he can basically, I don't know, enact, if you will, to the point where he's confident to the point where he knows he's going to be successful at turning this around. It's not like a huge gamble. I mean, this is what he's been doing for like his entire career. So I feel like the implications to him are, I can get away with doing this because I have a solid plan for making the revenue. I've done it lots of times with other industries and even similar industries. So, and I want to own 100% of the company. That was one of his big things. He has to own 100%, not, partial or anything.
But
I didn't want any, like,
does he own 100%? I mean, did he make the right deal to where he has the full ownership right now?
You're breaking up a lot. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I was just saying that the deal that he made, did he really have full ownership of the company? I mean, maybe technically he did, but until he pays this guy off, he doesn't.
True. I mean,
I guess it's like any other type of loan, but I mean, there's a lot of risk there, like what you're saying.
and I guess I feel like he understands the risk, though. You're right.
Oh, I agree.
There's a lot of risk, but there's also a lot of reward, and he's confident that he can pull it off to essentially make that risk kind of null, if you will.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Number 3.
Yeah. What should Jim Sharpe do on his first day as owner of Extrusion Technology Incorporated?
Fire all of the Teamsters.
I thought it was kind of beneficial to kind of get to know his employees a little bit, find out strengths and weaknesses, and build their trust, and tell him his plan and where he hopes to go. Because it sounds like there was a quality issue and things. Like, I feel like if he was able to, like, get to know the employees and find out where those, he'll know who to let go and where they need to improve upon and stuff like that.
I mean, think about it. He couldn't talk to anybody really until he physically had the paper saying he was the new owner. So he came in as a disadvantage. So I agree. I think getting to know who you have and what they're capable of is going to help him make better decisions going forward to improve the company.
Did anyone else put anything else? They were like running an extruder, updating the pricing, working with the union, or gaining the trust of employees.
Well, Levi's
I put down to check the financials, but I guess he already knew what they were. But I put it down anyways. And then the other thing I said was to establish internal controls, so like set up company policies, because I felt like the previous owner didn't really establish any rules for the company. He just did it along the way. So I feel like that's why the employees weren't as productive as they could have been.
And they're part of a union.
Yeah.
So I would get rid of them.
Like non-production.
And the reputation of the company wasn't very good. So he's got to figure out how to get that reputation perception changed.
Yeah. And then you get landscapers too, because they have a bunch of weeds outside.
Landscape. I put in mine. I put that he should basically look at his prices first, as far as like the pre-discussion poll or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he can do a lot with that.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Keep cutting out on my computer. So anyway, yeah, so I said the unions very last. Talk to them last. I hate unions. Don't talk to them. I just hate the whole idea of unions and businesses. It's dumb.
The Teamsters Union is particularly interesting, but anyway.
Yeah, but like I said, very first thing, it wasn't even one of the options on the thing, but I said clean the place. With all the descriptions of it being dirty, I'm like, you just need to clean the place up first.
Yeah, I feel like if people felt like going to work was more enjoyable, it would help boost productivity and things.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one wants to go somewhere if it's like dirty and gross. Like I'd be much happier somewhere and try harder if I thought it was like a nice place.
Right.
I was more worried about it being a health liability. I mean, people can trip or fall, slip on dirt, or trip over a box, or mold could send people home sick. And for all of those, there could be health insurance issues or work release. Not work release, that's jail stuff.
Workers' comp.
Injury release. Yes. Yeah. And
Cool.
And I said that, yeah. Anyway, yeah, yep, that's it.
All right. What should his action plan be for the next 6 months? The next 12 months, what should his priorities be?
Finding the bottleneck.
It's a good one.
Because
Yeah.
if he has old equipment and they're not making their deliveries on time, and they said they're getting more raw materials than what they're actually outputting, so they need to find the bottleneck, find out where the hangup is, the constraint, put more workers or more machines on the bottleneck, and then things will flow better.
Yeah, they need to.
Did it say there was a bottleneck?
Not specifically, but that's what it's called.
No, I know. I just wasn't sure. Did it say anywhere
No.
that they were delivering things late or stuff like that?
Yeah, it did say that.
It did say they were. Yeah. But there are smaller manufacturers that also said they have a good reputation for like delivering things like quickly. So, or they can deliver things quickly.
Yeah. But like their quality is down too. So I'm like, maybe they're trying to rush things too much, even though.
Dog.
Yeah. But yeah, so.
Yeah, it goes back to the reputation that they have. They need to fix that.
Yeah.
Oop, next one.
Okay.
Okay, so it says to talk about what should he do for 6 months, and then what should he do in the next 12 months. Do we have any opinions on what he should do first?
Yeah, I put mine in order. One sec.
Like we said, bottleneck, and maybe finding out pricing and cutting back on materials that they don't need.
Okay,
Yeah, I think if they get that under control, they're looking for ways that will allow them to be more profitable. So it's going to help the bottom line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 6 months, find the bottleneck, get everything flowing smoothly. And then quality, that'll be the 12-month thing, where after they start delivering on time and those revenues kind of increase a little bit, then they can start focusing on quality, upgrading their machines and their technology and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
That makes sense. So fix the immediate problems and then start working on how they can improve it overall.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Did Jim make the right acquisition? Explain.
No, he did not.
I was like, we have heard Connor's opinion on it. Does anyone else have a different opinion?
I think he did.
You're wrong.
I thought so too. I thought it was smart how he went through his process of finding it.
I think he did, but I think he's got a lot of work to do. But I mean, that's to be expected with a new company. So he just needs to implement his vision and move it forward and become fully his company to where. But yeah, I think he did.
Yeah.
Well, I felt like the previous owner left him a lot of stuff that required more money to fix problems. So I don't know how much money he'd have to spend to fix those problems. So I thought it would have been better if he chose a different business that was, or he should have chose a business that had all the information given to him. Because I feel like even if your company does have problems, you should tell the buyer beforehand, just because
That's ethical.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily unethical though. He told straight up that he wasn't going to tell him. The thing
And it
is,
was
in this
like up to
scenario,
him
he's
if he
buying-
was
Yeah.
like okay with that or not.
I agree with you.
Right.
There. It was not unethical.
But
I just want to say I agree with you. It wasn't unethical. He was being honest. I mean.
I guess so. Well, I guess it was more like gambling then, because he didn't know what those things were
Yeah.
that he could tell him.
he didn't know exactly, but I mean, based on all the financials and all that stuff that he did have, he understood it enough to understand kind of where. It's not like the owner didn't just tell him anything. I mean, they talked.
Yeah.
They reviewed financial stuff. It's not like he was totally blind.
No,
He
and,
just-
and that's why he decided to buy the company. He did have those conversations, and he assumed that risk. Could the owner
Right.
have done something differently? Maybe, but could Jim have done things differently and asked better questions or been more informed and been better prepared? Yeah, it goes both ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think a lot of the not asking the employees and stuff, I think that also had a lot to do with the owner not wanting to let them know that the company's being sold. Because if you read
True.
the way through, he just walks into the room and says, "Hey guys, I sold the company. Good luck with your lives. Deuces."
Yeah, that was interesting.
True. I mean, there is something to be said about that, yes.
But he did also say, you're welcome to go on tours. We can walk you around. You just can't talk to the people. So he could have walked around and seen, the building isn't in great shape. He knows he's going to have to fix that. He, knew some of the things, going into it.
Right. I think he knew. Like I said, I think he knew enough of what he was getting into to make it kind of a more of a non-issue kind of gig.
Yeah.
He's confident in his ability to turn it around. My opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Goodbye.
Okay, and another thing. So the guy valued his business at $2 million. Why? Why did he value his business at $2 million?
I wasn't 100% sure on that. I think it just
But
had
it
to
says
do with
why.
he had a lot of things in play.
It says why.
Because he wanted to.
Because he wanted to. He wanted to tell his friends that he just wanted to tell
He
his
sold
friends
it
and
for
family that he got
$2
$2 million.
But I wasn't sure why though. Why not you know what I mean? I know he said he wanted to just be able to tell people he got the 2 million. But I was confused more on why that was so important.
Social status.
That the only reason I got 2 million out of it.
I think so.
Why not 3 million though? You know what I mean? Why value it still at 2 million?
He's being
Maybe he had a bet with someone.
a little bit. Obviously, it was worth at least the $2 million that he put into it. Because I mean, if you look at the financial plan, I mean, he's planning on being, owning the whole thing in 5 years, completely debt free and everything else.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's. I don't know. I don't really think it's as big a deal. The 300,000 in the great scheme of things, if it was worth it and has a large upside, which he seems to feel it does have,
Mm-hmm.
was big enough to say, yeah, I'll give it to you, but I'm gonna finance it. The other thing that I thought was interesting was that the other guy, once he owns the business, he can't go start another business in the same whatever market for like 6
Industry,
years.
yeah.
Why is that?
So he
Just
can't
because he
compete.
didn't want him to like come in, take all the ideas, and then leave and start his own.
And he can't poach the clients.
Yeah.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, he can't take any clients away or anything. So who is that? Someone's so popular right now.
I'll put my phone on.
No.
I was like, I wish it was me.
My daughter asked me about her car. Had to get it fixed here for $300.
For how much?
300 power steering.
What? Oh. What kind of power steering is it?
Oh, here we go.
Sorry. Never mind. Sorry.
Oh, what kind of power steering? Now it's about
I'm
cars
not
and he's
the bottom.
interested.
Because I know electrical power steering is the worst.
All right. So, did we already kind of say what 6-month priorities, 12-month priorities were?
Yeah, we kind of went through and just said, like, fix the immediate stuff in the first 6 months. And then in the 12 months, try to focus on, like, big picture. Like, let's try to get our reputation up in general by doing, like, still fix the little things that you can fix fast. And then try to fix, like, replacing machinery and things like that in the 12-month period.
Yeah, because cleaning is free.
I got to pay someone to do it, but yeah.
Well, yeah, unless you just want to be like, hey guys, clean up your stations after your work today, you know.
But even then, you're paying them. They're on the clock.
Yeah, but think about how much more it costs to buy new machinery.
Yeah.
Compared to, hey, clean. Hey, clean.
A lot more. Okay. I can roll with that.
and then get rid of the unions. Stop paying them. You actually save money that way.
Well, he doesn't pay the unions. They became like
they charge money.
No, I know, but like what did the case study say? It was like weird. Like they took themselves off as like a recognized union, so they're like still part of it, but like not part of it. I didn't really get that, but
yeah. Well, like, do we know much about unions here?
I know a little bit, but not enough to have a discussion about unions.
The
So
Teamsters union,
if a union
is
gets too
literally
big,
a small mafia.
Yeah.
No joke.
Yep. Like, you want us to work today? Make me an offer I can't refuse.
Yeah.
And if a mafia gets, and if a union
It's
gets
the
too
mafia.
big, it's just like.
No joke.
If
Like,
a union gets
have you
too
ever
big,
read
it's
anything
just
about
like.
the Teamsters union?
Then,
Oh, okay. Read some stuff about the Teamsters union.
really?
Yeah.
So is it? I thought that it's just like what they called themselves in their little union they formed over there or something.
Teamsters got a pretty bad rap.
I've never heard of the Teamsters
Yeah.
before. I'm scared.
The Teamsters was not a small little union. Like literally, like.
Was the Teamsters a part of Jimmy Hoffa?
Oh, I don't know. The only stuff I really like, I just know their reputation, and I know people that have dealt with them personally. So
Really?
when you walk
Okay.
into a business meeting in Arizona in a high rise, and you know there's a dude sitting there with a half naked chick on his lap and a bunch of dudes, and scary.
What?
Their business practices were interesting.
That sounds good.
I'm hating this purchase even more now.
Well, I mean, the union you can kind of get rid of, though.
Yeah, but you have to like hire people to get rid of them. Because when a union is just like, oh, we want $15 an hour, they're happy for a month. Okay, now we want $16 an hour, or else we're gonna go on strike. Blah blah blah.
Right.
Yeah, as soon as their contract's up, they always want more money.
Mo
and
money,
then they
mo
get
problem.
together later, like, oh, we're not happy anymore. We want more. We'll stop working again.
True.
It's kind of like, what's it called when businesses get together and say, oh, we're all going to charge this much so we can get a better profit off of it?
Price
The cartel.
fixing.
Price fixing.
Cartel.
Oh my gosh, the dogs.
All right. Well, did we answer all the questions, or is there more that we need to do?
Yeah, that was
That's all of
for
them.
today.
Yeah, we just have to do like our quick little summary saying what we did real fast. So we can start that now.
Before we start
Okay,
that,
summary starting officially
Yeah.
now.
no, before we start that, did anybody work on the Excel spreadsheet?
I did a little bit.
Nope.
It's like being really weird. Like I'm trying to calculate stuff, and it like calculates like one of them, but then the other ones won't calculate. It's like the weirdest.
Yeah.
There's something
When I opened it, it said there were some circular reference issues in it. So
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it
Me
did say
too,
that
but
to me
even
too.
like calculating like the equity ratio, like the first box calculates, but then the other ones like I dragged the formula across, and the other ones.
Yeah, it gets
don't.
you blank.
It's like really weird.
Mhm.
Anyway,
I was gonna work on it tomorrow before it was due.
Yeah, you gotta type it in yourself. Because I tried dragging it across and it gave me the same number for some reason, or it just gave me a blank.
14.1, right?
Yeah, 14.1.
yeah.
And then every time you click on it, it just like blanks out. It's like anyway. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. I just want to talk about that if that would
No, it's an issue with everyone.
fantastic.
I was like, I started getting frustrated and I gave up. I was like, well, it doesn't say that this is like required. So I was like, eh.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Okay, summary time.
Summary starting now?
Yep.
Okay.
So,
It was a good purchase, except for me.
That's not a summary. That's
It's part of it.
yeah, so we all
Okay.
think it was a good idea, except for Connell. But beyond that, we think in the first 6 months, he should try to focus on like the immediate problems of the company. And within the first 12 months, he should try to start looking at long-term fixes, like getting new machinery and things like that.
short-term problems being
Question.
overpurchasing, time production, inventory
Finding the
turnover
bottleneck in the first 6 months.
in the first 6 months. Yeah, long-term being like aging machinery, overall, I guess, painting of the building in 12 months. I guess short-term would be like cleanliness of the facility too. That would be short-term.
Cleanliness and finding the bottleneck.
Yeah. And then what should you do is on his first day, we think you should kind of get to know the employees and know with.
Okay.
And the way he purchased the venture was somewhat risky because now his house and his own assets are at risk and he could eventually lose the company again.
Such a dumb man.
He's not dumb. Did you not read the part about him making
His Twitter
all
and
mistakes
just
with other
and just
people's money?
rant on him because he's all over the internet.
Oh, you Googled him? Connor, did you Google him?
Sorry, it keeps kicking me. What did you say?
Did you Google him?
I did. He's all over the place.
Okay. Well, we can leave that out of the summary. All right, we're good with the
Yeah.
summary. Live?
What?
You want to take us off live now that we've completed our
Yeah.
summary?